Alrighty, I think we're about ready to go. Everything's in accounted for, and we got ourselves an interval to do. If we can actually cover all of it. I know we didn't get to finish the Yield My Flesh book gok, so hopefully we do have enough time in order to just go through that. Go through this, and then some. Now it all depends on how bad of an asswoman I get. It just all depends. Also on other situations too. There we are. And look, we have notifications. If I do, probably need to get that working. Let me try on my end. Ah, hang on. For some reason it's not coming out, or I think I know what's happening. There we go. One more time, just for good measure. Why is it happening now of all things? Or is there probably something I'm missing here? That is weird. That is actually weird because it's it plays, but most likely not on my stream. Or not on my OBS. So something probably needs to be updated. Something needs to be fixed. But I'll live. I'll live. Still makes me wonder, how did it get to this point? Like, I don't even have OBS muted, right? Yeah, my OBS is just all the way up. Oh, but I think I know what happened. Wait. I think I know exactly. Sound settings. Okay, we should be good to go. Yes, Origin? Yeah, well, it's kind of too late because I saw a certain blue spiny monster show up. Also been hearing some musings of another prismatic one as well. I mean, one way or another, I'm just gonna find it. Like, I'm no stickers for spoilers. That's the thing. So I know about a certain one. One that's been highly recommended after a long period of absence. All right, let me try one more time. See if the browser was actually gonna kick in.
Do you see where I'm coming from, you jive, motherfucker?
Okay, so I can't hear it on my own side, but I'm pretty sure everybody else can hear the sound alerts for some reason. That's weird. That's actually weird. Like, this all started happening after I put in my new CPU. So maybe something did happen. Or there's also a good chance that for a different audio source, it's possible. No filters. Audio properties. And I do have it set to monitor output. Or maybe configure effects, sampler, lighting, routing. Yeah, just all sorts of weird then. but I'm not gonna dilly-dally with this a little bit too much. I'm not gonna dilly-dally with this a little too much because it's just burning time. Now we get to the nitty-gritty of what we're gonna be looking for. A Halo pack. Dante, any idea where the leftover cake from yesterday went? No idea. I mean, how would I know? I can't even eat. Darn, did Ducky already get a pause on him? Roger rubbed her tired eyes, muttered something about how we should have partied in her room instead, and stumbled to the back door. The New Year's came swiftly to the inhabitants of the bus after various incidents at the LCE. Listeners all came from different backgrounds and parts of the city, but annual celebration for New Year's seemed to be a thread that connected their cultures together. They began floating the idea of a New Year's party and, excellent! Then permit me the honor of hosting this banquet. With her usual overdramatic boasts, coupled with the familiar twinkle in her eyes, Don Quixote declared that there would be indeed a New Year's party, and thus it was decided. Again, after all the hell we went through with the back door and whatnot for the out-of-season Christmas celebration. Yet, I must insist, for 'twas but an effort to decorate the bus, the intent quite divorced from the act of celebration. Don Quixote glanced at Sinclair, sheepishly scratching the back of her head. Oh, don't worry about me, really. Well, tis true that mine action hath brought thee quite distress, unintentionally, I might add. Thus I ask thee, wouldst thou not agree that a communal event to mark the occasion might freshen both our spirits and bodies? I can't even begin to imagine her amnesiac self even taking a moment to give a damn about how Sinclair might take it, but I guess with memory came tact. You know, it's our first New Year's together. It sure is an occasion for a celebration, huh? Gotta hear that bell go ding to really mark the transition to a new year, right? It seems that we will be welcoming the first light of the new year in company of one another. This is indeed a cause for celebration. A bowl of noodles before the last night of the year fades. Classic. Such a bubbling enthusiasm from ye who warmeth my own heart. Forsooth, the grandiosity of this banquet shall be one for the books. Fireworks most brilliant, and of delicacies too. Charon, when's our next stop? Mephi will be running non-stop for 3 days at least. Only dum-dum stop out on Fast Road. So she says. Regulus muttered with his usual sardonic edge, one fist under his chin. Fie. For next year's celebration, the banquet shall be prepared, ere the promised hour. Don Quixote's idea of a grand banquet depressingly fizzled into nothingness, but Roger brought out the cakes and cookies she stashed in her room so she could at least hold a small celebration for their New Year's together. Probably because of DSC ID. Yep. There's always next year. Also, what's good, Heyo? After that, we all stayed up together, watching New Year's first sunrise briefly paint the city in gold, then retired to sleep. Whenever we woke up, rubbing their eyes, the world outside the bus had completely transformed. It was a behemoth of a structure, bizarre in its presence, and its walls seemingly made of gargantuan steel plates. This looks like the most cyberpunk shit imaginable. H-Corp. The senators began to voice their surprise. Hopefully so, as what came into view was different from any of the nests we passed by on our journey thus far. Is that massive structure all one building? If that whole thing's a nest, then where the hell's the back streets? I was beginning to discover H-Corp's territory and then some. Well, there he goes again, asking dumb questions without ever taking a peep at the guidebook. That's not the nest. That huge box you see over there? That's District 8. We call it Hongyan, the vast garden here at H-Corp. The nest lies within the center of the structure, and the back streets without. So they squeeze the entire population of this district in there? Did they not get a ray of sunlight all year round? Well, at least I won't have to worry about the rain. Pretty Veilmea's sight as well. As the senators began to gather one by one, the other side of the bus started awake from their late night's rest. I feel my gaze drawn to Hong Lu. No for signs of concern or distress on his face. Worried. It wasn't exactly something unique to Hong Lu, but the stories about his past home life we've heard throughout the year. Whenever he felt like sharing them, we were all consistently and terribly depressing. It's not such a bad place once you actually try living here for a while. But his lips, ever so slightly curled upward into a kindly relaxed smile, are making the same expressions as ever. An expression that hasn't changed at all since our first meeting. This man's gonna get broken down if he loses that eye. That's one thing for sure. Maybe it's just a cultural difference. Kinda like how Hong Lu can be so nonchalant about things that should give most people pause, but... Actually, no. I'm not helping anyone or anything by entertaining these thoughts. My job at this moment is to keep a close eye on Hong Lu more than usual. And if the time comes for me to help him, as the manager, I give it my all. Besides... Oh, and this thing's even big up close. Barely. I carry no recollection of a structure so grand, even in past adventures of mine. If my efforts aren't enough, now I can trust the sinners to lend me a hand. Hey, let me see too. I collected my thoughts and approached the sinners who were flattened up against the glass window to get a good view. Just to get the whole idea of the scope of the situation. It's massive. A slash. Okay. Who do we have that could actually do our jobs pretty well? Let's go.
출근하겠어.
I got Pierce, which probably does give me a good sign to start leveling up some other
현장 지휘자가
identities
필요한가?
proper.
앞장서시오.
Oh wait, let me also...
따라가겠어요.
this one is concerned. Here you go. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I should have uptied for Nurkala.
예술을 보여주지.
Okay. Let me up this one real quick. It's been a while. Contempt. Okay, I can bring Blade Lineage. Yeah, I should. In fact, I could probably do that now to some degree. Because I already have her at uptype 4. I just need to do maybe a few excavation runs and then that should be good. Could have just that. Wait, what did he get? Oh, right, asymmetrical inertia.
화점에
나를 불렀.
피가 범람할 시간이요.
마침내 현장 투입인가.
급행 주문이군요.
Let me bring him as well.
사후 처리로구만. 사건을 끝내러 가볼까?
Alright, now to see what we're up against. Oh, right. Shit, I forgot. You know, we can go back. Oh man, I can't believe we had to get off the bus here. We have to make a formal complaint against H-Corp for this crap. What the hell were they thinking doing shoddy construction work at the entrance of the highway that leads straight to the nest? Many causes that there may be to such construction projects. Yet perhaps an early warning sign ere our approach to the site would have been a sensible that were not for young Karen's most violent drifting. I shudder to even imagine the terrible possibilities. It would have been most awful end to an adventure. Don't surprise that the sinners all had a piece of their mind to speak. As we drove out the entryway, we unexpectedly came across a mess of badly put together steel plates blocking our path in the middle of the road. Carnes quickly spun the bus around, which meant that everyone ended up being thrown around like rag dolls. I think there was another road off the highway that leads into the city, right? I reckon I would have tried to reverse gear all the way back to the last interchange. But also we're gonna be through all these winding alleyways to get to the nest. It's so dark in here. We were greeted by a dark street upon disembarking from the bus, illuminated by only a faint strands of light. It was immediately obvious that we found ourselves in the back streets of H Corp. It's pretty impressive from the outside, but it's not different from the other back streets inside, huh? Yep, it's a familiar sight. I gotta say, it's getting real old. I ask thee, is this the nest of this district shrouded in such darkness as well? No, these particular sites are limited to the back streets of District 8. The back streets of this district weren't very different from the other ones we visited in the past. People hurrying through the streets as though they're being chased by something, people scowling and glaring at the ground with some sickness or discomfort. Scenes all too common in an everyday corner of the city. There was one thing about this place that stood out from the other districts, however. I think they kind of reminded me of the former G-Corp soldiers back at District 4. What? What do you mean? Wait, those fellas? The growths of their flesh appeared too organic to be prosthetics. Some had an odd protrusion or nodules bulging from their skin as well. Not all magic, bud. Look, they haven't all mutated in the same pattern, like into an insectoid, for an example. Well, I guess I should commend you for not looking at them through a biased lens. You're observing the aftermath of District 8's distinctive method of treatment. Oh, so this is where the rumors about the bluish healing ointment came from, huh? Apparently they can cure any flesh wound after just one night dressed in bandages. It seems that certain misconceptions must be addressed. There are variations of H-Corp singularity, the bolus. The bolus? She is likely referring to the medicine brewed and kneaded into ball-shaped pills. Correct. H-Corp, or the Honyan bioengineering group, mainly manufactures boluses that contain essences of treatment. The boluses may be taken orally, ground with water into a paste, and applied directly to the affected area, or dissolved in water, soaked in bandages, and wrapped around the necessary area for treatment. I guess we must transform as they travel. Oh, I see. I was just thinking about how they do things back in K-Corp. The focus of K-Corp technology is the reversal of or recovery as one condition. Returning to the original state is the key word in the treatment. It's no rare sight to find unique techniques and technology developed independently by the inhabitants of backstreets of District 8 using the manufactured boluses. The treatments are not individually customized for each patient. Instead, they're focused on selecting the appropriate technique from a myriad of choices to address the deficiencies in their statuses. Perhaps one could choose the words transformation or evolution as more illustrative descriptor for their method of treatment. So that's what counts as treated? The crowds and Claire was pointing at certainly appeared unhurt, as none of them were bleeding or walking with a limp, but many of them appeared dazed, staring blankly at nothing or scratching absent-mindedly at their mutated parts. Ah, they must be the regulars. Unexpectedly, we found our answer not from Faust nor Marceau, but Hong Lu. The regulars? Yes, I've read of them as a child. People have grown too accustomed to visiting the clinics in search of their mystical treatments. The regulars might appear more intimidating than most people at first glance, but apparently all the side effects they've been stacking changes them in strange ways. It's highly likely that the interoperation conflicts or issues will arise when applying highly disparate treatment methods to a single body. At least it's a cheaper alternative for people who didn't sign up for life insurance. You speak of life insurance? Yes, life insurance. There's a special insurance option to bring the client back to life upon the event of their death. So the irony isn't lost on me, but I thought resurrecting people was one of the head's taboos. The head does not consider the revival of life via life insurance to be a violation of the non-resurrection taboo. It is likely on a technical level this revival is actually categorized as brain resuscitation, as opposed to full resurrection, degradation of its functions considered, of course. Another fatal downside to this technology is that, unlike the manager's clock winding, The subject cannot be brought back if their brain is destroyed. Also, there is a risk of significant losses in the process of information transference. Losses, huh? So maybe some of the mutations could be more than just the side effects of these treatments. Maybe. Or it takes a little more than 1 or 2 revivals to change that much. And since apparently people in the backstreets could never dream of paying consistent insurance renewal rates, so... After all, who would sign up for insurance if using its services could reduce them to such pitiful states? Yeah, they appear pathetic and pitiful to you rich bastards, don't they? You'll soon be in the same boat as them. Just take some pity for yourself. Identify yourself! The stranger's voice cut through our discussion like a foreign instrument. We turned around to find a large group of people who were clearly up to no good. You must be the young master of the high and mighty Gia family, huh? I can tell just by looking at your pretty face. Your friends, Honglu? No, I haven't had much of a chance to get acquainted with these people from backstreets, so... Nope, I've never met them before. Of course you haven't. Too busy living large, playing gods in a whole different world from us plebes, huh? Not that it matters. We're just here to take the thing you brought here for submission to the family hierarchy evaluation. The what evaluation? Okay, there's clearly been a misunderstanding. That's quite a lot of them. We're not off to a great start here, huh, man? Actually, no. It'd be a violation of our office core values to jump them like we're some common thugs. I, Shansan, third son of the Triax office, challenge Jia Baiyao, Bao Yu, of the Jia family to a duel. Our wager will be that the winner can take anything they want from the loser. Wait, what do you mean, a duel? Oh no. No. My man, you fucked up. I've heard the tales of the duel. The automobile fixers of the Sync Association, each branch, announced their intent to duel by stating their affiliation and name instead of casting their gauntlets. And the pamphlet that the young Ishmael had presented before me earlier quite presented the truth that the Triax office is indeed an office of the East, though they are indeed of a lesser quality. It is a true, genuine, accurate declaration of a duel that we behold. So it's just a fancy way of saying 1v1 me. Let's go, innit? I mean, this guy doesn't look tough. What do you think, Faust? Agreed. This individual does not seem to possess any particularly exceptional skill that may pose difficulties for Honglu. I think it's gonna be okay. I'll be back in a minute, Dante. Are you sure this is okay? I think you're gonna lose to him, but, you know, just in case. No worries. I have some childhood experience with duels myself. I've done about 10 of them, I think. Ha! So the rich boy dabbled in some duels, has he? I think you misunderstand. I meant to say I've done about 10 of them a day. But, but grandmother sometimes let me skip them, so it might have been slightly fewer than on some days. What? I, Honglu of Limbus Company. No. I, Bao Yu of the Gia family. Accept this duel. Honglu stepped forward confidently as the opponent was processing what he just heard. For a moment, Honglu stood there in a stance that did not express even a hint of aggression, before curiously cocking his head to the side. Sorry, are we waiting for something? Oh, so I was let the opponent get the first 2 moves in duels. Please, do not hesitate. Let me, you little... Your cocky pride shall be your downfall! The man to introduce himself as Shansan leapt towards Honglu, and after about a minute... Like Shansan, who was throwing punches and swings with boiling hot passion, Honglu was effortlessly gliding between his opponent's strikes like he was on a picnic, as though this was about a leisurely stroll through a garden. Whenever Shansan threw a powerful punch, Honglu redirected it to the side with ease, the fist only grazing his clothes. We were mesmerized by the feathery light movements of his hands and feet that effortlessly glided through the air, until after one blinking you miss it moment, we realized that Shansan was already face down on the ground, defeated. Oh, young Honglu. I stop in concealing thy full strength and a presence? Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I always put my all into every fight. Yet, to defeat a foe so soundly, to dance with such grace between his strikes. 'Twas as though you were doing someone whose skill may only measure against a child. But most of our fights happen in environments with a lot of variables. We usually fight against enemies with all kinds of unexpected weapons and powers. You read him. Already familiar with that fool's moves. Oh yes. One of my Biwu instructors used similar techniques as the gentleman here. Practice makes perfect and perfection makes an expert, right? Right, but I'm not sure if that's entirely relevant here. Well, anyways, looks to me he's how we kicked your behind in this duel. Let us through, why don't you? You're definitely not to do the thing I think you're about to do. This duel wasn't overseen by a notary office anyway. Our boy's not gonna let this failure slide if we just leave. Don't just sit there! Move your asses and jump 'em! Pathetic. I can kinda see how we're becoming experts at getting jumped. With a bitter cry of defeat, his gang rushed towards us. It's the bootleg axe gang from Kung Fu Hustle.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
This music?
죄를 새겨주겠어.
관찰
This is a banger, man.
끝났습니다.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그렇게 해.
살을 떼어내고.
원더풀 선택이었어, 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군. 내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Oh, they got haste too. Doesn't really matter much.
실밥이 터졌나?
Stagger point's a little bit too high for their case, so we just rip them apart.
혈이 남자오.
방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르게 그 인간도 이건 인정할걸? 떨거지는 잘라낸다.
Wait, how do we get bleed though? Oh, it's the Axe Gang, never mind.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
Oh, that's a massacre.
너냐?
And he's gone.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
물렁물렁한 갖다 대기만 해도 썰려 나가는 걸 보니
Easy clap. This really isn't a great start, fellas. It's never easy, is it? Yeah, at least we got a nice warm-up. Wasn't all that bad. I don't know, this seems more serious than our usual street brawls. Ishmael's right. These weren't everyday thugs who picked fight with random people for no good reason. They were contracted by someone to specifically target and eliminate Hong Lu. And given how they were open about their intent, calling it a contract, it doesn't seem like whoever gave the contract was exactly for subtlety. Then maybe... Yeah, it was good then, too. Then maybe this is what Jiashi Chun was talking about way back when she mentioned surviving as heirs. What's behind this must have a bone to pick with Hong Lu. Indeed. It seems that we must expect more skirmishes like this going forward. Alas, was this trial not readily overcome? Not the point. Think on it a little more. Seems like they're assuming Hong Lu's brought something here in order to participate in that family hierarchy evaluation. But he's oh yeah, like I've seen people actually mention that she has like stretch marks too, so it's gonna be a real one for sure for a lot of people making fun of for Brady. Chubby girl supremacy is chubby girl nation is winning in Nikkei for sure. Eleg, I think Trina does count too. No, Trina's more stacked if anything, but Brady is another one that's really up there. There's no reason to assume that we've seen the last of them. I'm gonna try again to take out the competition. Wait, I skipped a line. Oh, I did. Never mind. A highly accurate assessment of the situation by the executive manager. I expected no less of someone in your genius. Going for the classics of brown nosing today, Aldous. Since when was it brown nosing to come when the job well done? Do you not expect? This inane conversation is most riveting, but I will prefer some silence while we wait. Trina might be a grandma like Glitter. I like made so that everyone will get made out of it. I mean, he did give a maid outfit to Drake, so he has full free pass to do whatever the fuck he wants at that point. It seems that the company foresaw such difficulties. They sent a support team to help us handle this issue. We heard voices come behind us from wherever Gary is pointed. My, you guys still haven't learned how to stick to the plan, have you? Alright. See you later, Denso. Whenever we can. It really threw me off when I was told to meet you at some backstreet's location away from our agreed rendezvous point. Also, what's good, Scarlet Silver? So I kind of missed you there in YouTube land. A familiar voice. A voice we couldn't forget. I mean, we've heard it since Kanto 5, but, Saude. Been a while, everyone. Boy, how we missed you. You were in dire straits the last time in Kanto 2. Kanto 3. And Pilot. Hi, I'm here too. We turned around to follow where the voice was coming from and recognized two people we've been hoping to see again.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를 찾을 때까지 이 기세를 잃지 않기를.
Saude? And hey, Pilot, right? You're... What's wrong? It's like you're all looking at a ghost. Pilot, didn't you tell me that you shared my news with them the last time? I did! I sure did, ma'am. Oh yeah, you did. As soon as each recovered from the initial shock of seeing them again. And soon, their faces began to bloom with relieved smiles. I miss you so much, Saude. I really did. Saude, we're so glad to see you're okay. Tick-tock to you. Good to see your gears turning just fine. Saude smiled with a familiar grin. She did not seem to have changed much since the last time we met, save for a few minor differences. Her outfit and her badge, for example. Last I recall, you were promoted, yes? Allow me to congratulate you. Yeah. Or the hints of melancholy hanging from her small and flickering eyes. Or flickering in her eyes. Hey! I'm really congratulating her on her promotion and offering a recognition of her excellent accomplishments. I don't see what your problem is here. But we all know the meaning that promotion carries. Indeed, and it's very profound. After all, what is there to a promotion attained without spilling some blood? You're a real piece of work. Let me ask you something, then. If everyone behaves like you around her, tiptoeing around the facts, keeping a hush-hush about what happened, where is she going to get the bare minimum of the recognition and the consolation that she deserves? Hush-hush would have been nice. I even overheard some of them whisper that I let my partner die just so I can snag a promotion. So, in that regard, I appreciate that, Alex. If we're being technical, I did die. Except my brain was intact. Not even Keiko's strand of ampules could have revived me if it wasn't. Then, did Effie also... Apparently they were right for Effie's head. They went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him with a prosthetic. According to the coroner's autopsy. Keiko ampules, life insurance. Neither of them can revive someone with a damaged brain. And the fact that they keep adding capital letters to life insurance tells me exactly which one it is. If you play Library of Ruin, you know exactly which life insurance company it is because they have the same exact gimmick too. Where after a certain point or with a certain card, you can revive yourself or someone else. The Mirai Life Insurance Company. So, that's a nice little bit of trivia if that actually confirms it. It is what it is. Anyways, let's not dwell on the depressing stuff. We're here for work. Let's get some work done. So let's talk about it, okay? Pilot? Yes, ma'am. Well, let's see here. Coincidentally, I happened to make friends with a fellow who has ties to the Gia family, so I brought them over. Hey, is that everything? Yes, sir. Briefing over. Just as everyone was reeling in stunned silence at the least informative, least helpful briefing we ever had this was of sitting through, Ishmael was the first to catch herself. She looked up Saude. Saude, can we really rely on you for some elaboration here? The briefing was a good demonstration of the necessity of educating the 5 W's and 1 H principle. Looks like we have a lot to discuss once we get back, Pilot. Did I do something wrong? Shh. Pilot, buddy, just stop. You're getting yourself a deeper hole with every word. We could quickly learn to warn Pilot, but it was likely too late. A nigh unnoticeable crease had already formed between Saude's brows. Prior to commencing this high-priority operation, it was necessary for us to find individuals with a connection to H-Corp. So we, as the preliminary observation unit, were put to the task, and we managed to establish a connection with an individual. Oh, someone from my family? No, we tried. My family proved to be rather difficult nut to crack. However, as we were wasting our precious time with all our leads, I pursued an unconventional method to establish this connection. I really didn't hold back on compliments then, and this is how you... Our collaborator is a former employee of the GF family. After leaving the family, he now runs a lodging business. And it's likely that he is far removed from the family's politics. Less than motivation for him to attack us due to conflicting interests. Yes, and according to Pilot's report, he still regards the GF family positively. How can I not, considering the blessings they have given me? An unfamiliar voice butted into the conversation as though to continue Saudi's explanations. I'm Oh. I humbly present myself before the fellowship of the young master Bao Yu. Please call me Xing Tao. He greeted us in the most polite fashion before bringing his hands together in an odd motion. Probably like this. Oh, is this how people greet each other here? Yep. It's called the Bao Xuan gesture. The Bao Quan. No, wait. Let me see if I can actually tap into Chinese a little bit. Bao Quan. Yeah, I think it is Bao Quan. Ba Ji Quan, Bao Quan. Yeah, Bao Quan gesture. Bringing fist and palm to... Oh. Bringing fist and palm together to express respect and peace toward the receiver. Dragon and tiger, essentially. Ah, nice greet each other by shaking their hands for the same self-purpose. Forsooth, thou art indeed one possessed of chivalrous spirit. Indeed. Why should I worry about the qualities of people young master has surrounded himself with? But I see that he is in company of those wise in the ways of the West. I prostrate myself before the vast breadth of knowledge. With grand generosity it is to open ajar the waterways of wisdom to quench my barren lands. Something feels familiar about this. She's been getting less and less verbose with bootlicking these days. Not like this guy, for sure. That's true. Kind of like... How should I put this? A bit much. What are you guys talking about? Communicating only by the sound of a ticking clock. This is something I had already known ahead of time, yet... What a most curious exchange to behold in person. Brief this journey may be, yet I shall find myself thoroughly entertained in its entirety. Maybe it's a subtle sprinkle of disrespect that reminds you of the usual flavor. Wait, this is about me? You dare! Was all that bullying she did supposed to be a sort of prior? Ada shook her head with a clear distaste and strode toward me. You are nothing alike except the manager. Never have I once emptied Never once had I... Oh god. Never have I once said such empty flattery in your presence, filled with nothing but hot air and superlatives. I'll leave the guidance of the back streets to him. Well, looks like this is where we... Sada fell silent, her eyes still lingering on Virgilius, who stood somewhat apart from the rest of us. So, I finally get to meet the Red Gaze in the flesh. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. I feel what I'd love to be here. Manager? Virgilius seemed to sense her lingering gaze and walked towards us after nodding slightly in her direction. Manager Sade. Let's not make this any longer than it has to be. I'm not happy to be helping you with your business. I'd much rather put this behind me as soon as possible. Oh, please. It's our first historic collaboration, isn't it? Can you spare a little bit more time with us? The guy's bud. Actually doing something? That guy? Yes, unfortunately. LCC has our own business to take care of as of today, so I won't be accompanying the LCB this time, and the Red Gaze will be helping us out to get it done. Taking Mephi there. Vroom vroom. Maybe it's not that unfortunate now that I think about it. Motherfucker. Damn spam calls. It's not that unfortunate now that I think about it. I feel like every mission with the LCB has always been uphill battle to get anything done. Well, you see, back then we were... Just messing with you. I'm sure we'll have another chance to work together again. And I do hope that she does get the Jia Chi-chun treatment too, where she actually does fight alongside us. Maybe she might have the same... Well, considering that Ishmael's ID is based on her, that might make a lot more sense, and it's gonna be a little bit hilarious seeing two of the same IDs on the field, just shield bash, charging star, da 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 da. Boss, we don't got much time. Wait, before you go, I think you ought to some explanation for Gilius. All the details, Miss Foss. I'm quite busy. Very well. Virgilius turned around and left toward Mephistopheles with an oddly disgruntled expression. Well then, I'll see you around. Next time, I'll show all of you. I'll show y'all. I'll show that I can carry my own weight. You know, oh boy. The last time we met was really darn pathetic. Pilot, confidence is shown through action, not words. Saudi and Pilot gave us a light nod before following Virgilius. Some sinners opened their mouths to speak, hesitated, then closed them again. We'll let them go without a word. Perhaps we didn't know what to say, to not make this an awkward farewell. Very well. Please, this way. Or maybe we were simply mindful of this guy who was responsible for the quality of our stay. Okay. Let's get our... Not... I think I know who exactly is, Chief Butler. Oh, if that's the case, then I could probably switch over to... Yeah, I can.
의뢰로군.
출근하겠어.
나 훌륭한 미끼 될 수 있어.
해오던 대로 방송을 켜겠다.
Let's get to work, shall we? Deep resentment ought to be washed away. For when the far one comes betwixt the burnt door, shall a star fall astray. Are you sure we're going the right way? Why does some of these weird songs? The main streets are mostly teeming with those seeking to bring harm to the young master. We must venture an alternative path. Like you said, there weren't any skirmishes once we made it deep into the dark alleyways. The lack of foot traffic would normally be pretty unsettling, but I guess that's what we need at this moment. As for the song, it's a song that's become rather popular in the back streets in the recent months. The lyrics are pretty ominous for a popular song. It's a song that spread through the word of mouth. It sings about how the decimated Kong family. This is not the place to discuss such matters. I will share the tale in a more appropriate setting later, should we come across it. Didn't know there was a song like that. Is this the first time you heard of it too, Honglu? He's a posh git from a posh family. I doubt he's ever set precious feet in the back streets, so it's no wonder he's never heard anything like it. I've been to the back streets before, but Cliff isn't wrong. I did spend most of my time in my room. That is precisely because you were the most treasured of them all, young master. Much like how the jade of the greatest worth is to be cherished, prized, and hidden in the deepest depths of one's coffers where none shall reach. I'm like him. Oh, the realization hit all of a sudden now, huh? You better not start with less SP than everybody else because of it. To a lesser degree, particularly as of late. So that guy used to work for the Gia family, huh? Do you know him, Honglu? Young master? Is there something on my face? Honglu stopped himself as though a thought flashed in his head and glanced quietly in my direction. Then, it's nothing. Shall I continue walking down this road? Indeed, humble as it may be, I am very well versed in the roads of this area. Hong shook his head at me as he casually changed the subject. It was as though he was trying to hide something we all know from Qing Tao. Should we be suspicious of something? He's a collaborator, but a temporary one. A degree of caution would be advisable. Given Pilot's clear inexperience and naivety, we would do well to remain suspicious of his character. Radisson approached me as Hong was nodding along and chatting amicably with our guide. Well, looking at our journey so far, I think we're going to lesson about blindly trusting every collaborator we come across. With this growing mistrust in mind, I must slowly make my distance from the guide before asking Faust the burning question. So, what was it back there with Vergilius? Something about him going off to help them out? The consequences of his actions at Wuthering Heights. Oh! His actions were a violation of one of the more important items in his contract with the company. He simply taking responsibility for the breach of contract. I think back to the incident at the manor. It feels like such a long time ago now, too. Yeah, it does feel like a long time. Well, that's kind of a bummer. He did really help us out of a pickle. What? They're dragging him away? That's what they're dragging him away for? Is there a problem, Honor Guest? It's nothing at all. No problem, right, Yoshu? Shut up, idiot. Marcel, can you carry Heath for a little bit? He's dead tired. Oh, I see we're pulling the commando line too. The guy back in the airplane, Arnold just snaps his neck, and the stewardess just comes around with like the concierge stuff, and he's just anything for your friend over there? I'm sorry, he's dead tired. God, I miss cheesy action 80s movie lines. I miss those so much, and hope to bring that back to some capacity one way or another. If I do it single-handedly, I will very much do so, at any chance I can get. It has to be organic, though. It will be done. Heathcliff punched in the gut by the hilt of Ryoshu's sword, fell forward and right onto Marcel's welcoming shoulder. Welcoming. Roger, you know the kind of person I hate the most? The kind of dull people who can't read the room. Don't you feel the same way, Dante? Yep. I nodded enthusiastically as something seemed to imply that she wasn't really asking me a question. I don't think she was about to punch my lights out, but Rojan and Ryoshu judged correctly this time. Classified company information must not be discussed in the presence of an outsider. Reminds me of the time he got knocked out cold while he kept asking questions without raising his hands. This guy just doesn't learn, huh? He successfully preserved the secrecy of classified information without spilling blood. I applaud this policy. I did good, didn't I? I'm just not a fan of how they're treating Heathcliff like dirt now. If it's no problemo, as you say, then that is well indeed. Yet I worry that it appears that the problem has found us anyway. I stopped and looked around, realizing that they were surrounded by a group of people wielding various weapons in their hands. What happened to finding us a safer path? It's likely that my guidance has indeed given us a much safer path away from the more obvious skirmishes. However, to my great regrets, it appears that the more observant of our enemies have tracked us here. Damn it! What are you even here for? Isn't your job to prevent this exact scenario? Let's just leave the finger pointing for later. We're gonna have to take them all down. They must not be allowed to disseminate our current location. Exactly. Where are you slinging off to, Mr. Xingtao? I must regrettably and humbly say that my talents in war are terribly lacking, so I intend to become scarce for a moment. Yet I have the utmost faith in the strengths of our young master and the honored guests in our overcoming this adversity, so... Xingtao was already standing far away from the front lines, that he was particularly hiding behind me. Faust, anything you tell us about these enemies? No. But a consultation with the Geshelkraft seems necessary if we are to determine whether negotiating with them is an option. They're coming. Marcel, Make a Heathcliff and set him down. It will be done. Oh, these guys look
가서 할 수
interesting.
있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는
Maybe buy
놈들이니까.
you foot soldiers too.
주군께서 찾아오시는 것. 아니,
Alright.
말씀하십시오.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
Air combo!
저렇게 되게 큰 스케일이 된것 같아.
승부처.
교육팀의 직원다운 완벽한 분석이었어.
아까 그놈. 아 그래. 저 녀석 손이 날래더라고. 괜찮은 녀석이야.
Let's make good use of our Mao.
회원에게
기다리시게.
부서진 홍차잎 같군요. 부서진 홍차잎 같군요.
저것들 너덜너덜하잖아. 일단 정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
관찰을
Enemy down.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 대로 두드려 패.
완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸. 나이스. 하나 잡혔다.
Oh, should be. Yeah, this should be death. Offset that.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
불쌍하게 울고주는 끝내지.
효력사. 좋아.
계속하면 되겠네.
애서롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내놨어.
관찰을
Wow, you
끝냈습니다.
1 point.
이제야 실력을 좀 내보네요. 평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까? 방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
너냐?
One, two, three.
원더풀 선택이었어 나니! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군!
더 이상 얻을 정보는 없군요.
조금만 더 힘내자.
And coup de grace.
이제 정말 대체 지압까지 얼마 남지
끝내지.
않았어.
끝내지.
And that's a done deal right there. Ourselves in the immediate vicinity have been eliminated. A collaborator who had been hiding far from the battle quickly ran up to our side as soon as the fight ended. Are you unhurt, young master? Yep, I'm totally fine. Of course, our honored guest's martial skills were exceptionally brilliant. But, young master, your light was the brightest even among the incandescent. This humble servant could not hold back his tears at this wonderful sight. To witness such excellent martial arts from none other than the young master himself. What an unexpected surprise. But don't the children of the GF family undergo all kinds of strict training regimens from childhood? It was simply my assumption that young master had ceased his training once he departed from the family. Anyways, how do you think they tracked us down anyway? About that. It appears that we weren't exactly tracked down. Perhaps it may be that ilk who worked in these parts of the backstreets recognized the young master's venerable countenance. I don't think my face is that well known. The family hierarchy evaluations are nigh. Every soul living in Hong Yuan must know the face of the young master who is loved by every elder of the family. It must be that they are under the assumption that you're carrying something of great value. Family hierarchy, huh? Didn't Jia-Chi-Chun say something about her hairs back then? They all seemed wrong then. They didn't bring anything precious that the elders might be looking for. Young master? Even now? I just couldn't care less about it, that's all. Besides, many of my siblings are much better fit to be the family hierarch than I am. That's... well, that's indeed a relief. A relief, is it? Well, but of course. It's highly dangerous endeavor to partake in the hierarchy evaluations, so it's of great relief to know that the young master's not putting himself in unnecessary danger. I guess that could be a relief, sort of. Ooh, now that we took them all down, there shouldn't be any more on the way, right? Greg, can we not change ourselves for 1 second? Why are you all laughing? Yoshu? No, I'm worried. Please, do not concern yourselves any further. We'll take a more clandestine path. I guarantee you a safe and easy passage to our destination. I still have a hard time buying that. The lay of this place would constitute a perfect place to set up an ambush in most places, yet you claim this to be the safer path. Yet I must ask you to place your faith in this humble servant, for Hong Yuan is not like most places. Fine. For now. I shut her eyes for a moment out of retorts, then turned to look at Ishmael. Hey, Ishmael, you must have a pamphlet of this place handy, don't you? No way. You're actually gonna read it? Why else would I ask? No, I mean, how could I not be caught off guard after almost a whole year of getting brushed off by everyone? I plead with them to read the damn pamphlets? Like hell, did no one think to... I will find my own intel if you're just gonna ramble on about your own grievances. Okay, fine. Here it is. Alice opened the pamphlet and began intently glaring at its text, as though she didn't want to miss even the smallest detail of information in there. Suspicion clear on her knitted brows. Oh boy.
밀크티 젓지 말고 가볍게 부어서 부탁드립니다. 역시
계산.
남이 타주는 차가 가장 맛있죠.
I guess I could switch her out and move her to Gamble, since we do have Wrath. To some degree, mainly because of Heathcliff. So we should be good to go. Though it depends on what we're up against. We're on a desperate run. All the while fighting off hordes upon hordes of enemies. Boy, what happened to safe and easy passage? Explain this shite! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The game crashed? That's the first. Oh, there we go. It appears that the young master's radiant countenance was made known. I thought we were finding more clandestine passage. How come we're getting jumped by even more enemies? As I've said, the young master's radiant... At least try to give a little variation to your excuses. I cannot so easily say that he is being untruthful given the disjointed allegiance of the enemies attacking us. It's almost like they put a bounty on his head. I'll display with the pamphlet in her hand, clearly frustrated but unable to establish anything concrete. For people without a clear allegiance to attack the member of the Gia family. Looks like everyone in the back streets has been getting pretty plucky while I was away. Back then I couldn't even catch a glimpse of their faces. They'd all be on their hands and knees whenever we walked past. Ah, what a wonderful change. Oi! Shove that wonderful change up your arse, and you bloody loon! How much longer till we get there? My Kazan is near. Calm your worries. That guy seems oddly calmer now. Hey, Nozoil, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're just going through the intervalo, and we did have a bit of a hiccup here and there, but hope you're having a good time. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good myself. Just having a little bit of fun here and there. Did he really get numb to all the violence that fast, or... Speaking of which, what is a Kazan? The term commonly used to refer to taverns, inns, or equivalent places of lodging in this region. Lodging, huh? Like a hotel? It's gotta be pretty fancy then, huh? Did it serve like complimentary snacks or drinks like the warp train? Not sure about that, but it seems like Kazans also serve alcohol and food alongside the lodging services. Maybe we can get a meal in there. And, phew, we won't be attacked there like this. Residential non-aggression taboo. Any ritual acts of violence inside a residential building is within this particular area and for Hong Yuan. A taboo. A taboo. We may rest easy within then. I saw Faust's eyebrows slightly twitch, as though she had just heard the most ridiculous thing, but I guess I'll ask her about it later. Man. If it's for some kind of family hierarchy or family head selection contest, why couldn't they save all this fighting until then? Because it would be too late. Like how? Every hierarch candidate must have brought incredibly precious treasures with them. It would be nice if they believed in their own treasure that is most precious of them all, but everyone's going to try and take each other's just to be sure. I see. Just in case someone else brought something even better than their own. And might as well kill them too, for the sake of convenience. Is that how folks in your family think? What kind of line of thinking is that? The other families didn't seem too different from mine. Damn. Deepest apologies for intruding upon this most enthralling conversation, however. I'm liking it a lot. The music of this is really good. But we're getting closer and closer to some of the tougher stuff eventually. Even though I've been bombarded with like left and right spoilers here and there, but this has definitely been an interesting interval so far. Also seeing Salday again, Salday and Pilot again is just, especially Salday in particular. My God, I missed her so much. What I know currently? I know a certain EDM fiend is gonna be on the horizon. That's the best I could say. With that, the guy pulled out a watch to check on the time. It will be nighttime soon. Yep. I've seen a little bit too much because, granted, I don't really make that many changes to my schedules to go for the most current things, so I kind of shoot myself primarily in the foot because I'm just bombarded with a whole bunch of spoilers, like not even an hour afterward. Day of the battle? Oh no, That's the one thing I haven't really picked up on. I've seen things, but I haven't heard the things associated with it. So I guess I'm still kind of in the clear. I've only heard maybe like snippets, but nothing concrete.
나라면 인원들을 좀 더 후방에 배치하겠어. 아니 뭐
I have different kind of.
분석을 하고 있어. 응원하라고 쓰여 있는데.
너는 저기로 가고 넌 앞에 서고. 내가 건드릴 필요가 없네. 그래 뭐.
Someone get paralyzed? No. Just cover their shields. These are the kind of fights where they would have the benefit of having negative status effects stacked on top of them, so.
빈틈투성이네. 금방 잡아 족치고 지나갈 수 있겠는걸.
Probably favorite balance outside the main bosses. Like this first one is just sick. Like I'm kind of curious at like what genre this is because it sounds like something I've heard in Sleeping Dogs. If anybody remembers that game. Was it Celtic? Maybe. I know it's like a probably better technical term for this genre of music, but this was something that you probably hear mostly in like Hong Kong cinema for the most part. But leave it to Studio EIM to just really just kick it up a notch every single time.
엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸.
This is a friend support. I don't have her yet, since I haven't gotten enough sweeper fluid to do that.
너냐?
이제야 실력을 좀
And thankfully there's someone from maybe she has a high bonus? Yeah. You know, I should use Ryoshu at that point. But it does give me a nice feel of how Heisho Altus does kind of work. Now, here we are. Is this a place? I was running through the alleyway and after turning corner after corner, we finally came across the sight of several small buildings tightly built next to one another. At the center of them was a building lit with red lamps. True. Yeah, she does have like 60%, so I can make use of that. At the center of them was I could probably just gamba and try. It's just shoddier than I expected. Hey, isn't this place a bit too trashy to house your precious young master? That's not our building. Please look this way to see where our honored guest will be staying for the night. I knew it. I heard so much from Honglu about the splendor, Huh? We followed Xing Tao's finger and arrived at a small warehouse of sorts. The exterior painted in black. That looks smaller than even Mephistopheles. Can we even fit in there? Hey, this place looks trashy as heck even for us, let alone for your young master. Yeah, 1.1k if you. Ooh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna switch over then. This is the nearest Kazan we could afford to stay in, at least among the ones that I manage. Yet its location in the backstreets heavily limits the level of decency it can afford. My deepest and serious apologies, young master. Don't worry. We can't always sleep in decent places. It looks fine for an overnight stay to me. Are you nuts? Can that thing even fit all of us in there? Much did I wish to guide the honored guests to the family mansion in the central zone. However, at the time... Oh, the sweeping wave. Huh, that doesn't start at 3:13 in the morning. I feel like I got plenty of time to get there. Exactly. Don't I have more than enough time to get to the family mansion? According to the H Corp travel guide, the central area is only like an hour away from here. Has the honored guest traveled to District 8 before? Well, no, this is my first time here, but then one must ask how the honored guest could claim to have the full understanding of a place merely by flipping through a book, which he hasn't had to contend with it in person. Innumerable, unpredictable changes await in this teeming jungle of buildings. The ever-shifting structures, the constantly changing paths, ambushes from foolish yet vicious syndicates, or even officers of the back streets. Oh, we are beset by danger from all sides. Such a bold, flippant approach to predicting the phenomena of this place is to court death. Even Atala must know that. Man, this dude really does sound a lot like Aldous. One fails to disguise his utter sorrow at the inadequacy of her own wisdom. Is it just me, or are we thinking back to Ishmael back at the Great Lake? Zip it, Dante. What if the guidebook lists a path? Does it simply imply that it's technically possible to reach there in time? I suddenly took a step forward. In the hand was the H-Corp travel pamphlet that Ishmael was talking about. I have faith that if our executive manager would lead us in your directionally challenged stead, they would be able to lead us to our destination before night falls. Me? This does not appear to have been discussed beforehand. Very well, allow me to speak freely, without frills. My responsibility is to bring the honor guests to the central zone and ensure the young master's safety. It is, indeed, technically possible to reach the family mansion before night in the back streets commences. Technically. Yet, not even one iota of danger to the young master shall be permitted. The mission has been so graciously bestowed upon this humble servant is not to guide the young master with haste, but to guide him with the utmost safety. Oh. It is said that those engaging in strategies and plans must remain wary of losing sight of their purpose. To stubbornly forge on toward the family mansion in lieu of necessary intel to see when these mobs of assailants would end is to wrongly prioritize the journey over the destination. You. Oh, you. It's my, no, I've actually played Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina. I haven't beaten either of those, but the furthest I've gone is definitely, I think day 23 on Lobotomy Corporation and the Blue Reverberation Ensemble on Library of Ruina. Pretty much made it to the middle portion of the Reverb Ensemble. So I do have some experience with some things here and there as far as Project Moon related things are concerned. I also read Leviathan as well, read Wonderlab before it got taken down. Also read the Distortion Detective 2. Haven't completed it yet, but I probably will get to that point eventually. So, I'm familiar. Not entirely well versed as far as lore is concerned, outside of say a few things, but I'm kind of familiar. Wonderful. Truly impressive. You have all the qualities of someone I would trust my life when devising a stratagem. This is the most fitting attitude for those who genuinely wish for the best for those they serve. Trying to full realization for that. Yeah, those could be a bit of a challenge, especially when it comes to Banaz. I know Banaz, you have to. There is like one particular gimmick involving like the Hana Association IDs, especially Olivier's, that will help you tremendously as long as you keep them alive. That's what I had to do during that one. but some of the other ones either are just like either puzzle fights or just full on a war of attrition. I know Gebra is like a pain in the ass at the beginning because dealing with like having the hunter kill the wolf is a tough balancing act. I always hated that fight, but yeah. Only one I enjoy so far is the Magical Girl one. Yeah, that one's fun. Tifereth realization. It was easy strategically just need RNG. Yeah, that was pretty much the bulk of it. Like once you clear the hunter, then everything else is pretty much a light pack, save for the mountain smiling bodies. But Mjolnir, wonderful Mjolnir. Really? You're just gonna start going along with them all of a sudden? I have misunderstood your intentions, truly. The wolves aren't. Yeah. The damn wolf. That damn wolf. It sparked my ire by comparing some of your choice words with my very own. Yet now, my eyes have been open to the honest loyalty that lies within your heart. This humble servant did not even imagine in his wildest dreams that there would be someone who understands the fathoms of his loyalty. It seems that young master has certainly gained an eye for allies and fellowships. This is a cause for much relief in my heart. Listen to him. This one knows how to jest. They're basically best buds now, huh? I may have lost my cool for a moment there. Anyways, this man speaks true. It's highly likely that we'd be best exposed to attacks of. It's highly likely that we'd be exposed to attacks of similar nature. Were we to continue moving at this time. She's just fully on his side now, isn't she? That's when I realized she was looking at my direction. The exaggerated smile had all but completely faded from her face, replaced with an odd but dead serious expression. When her gaze locked, she nodded. She must be bullshitting. She is. She out-bullied them. Completely turned around by this guy. No way. They are one and the same. Is this a way of saying so long I'm gonna quit and go and work with this guy now? Thanks for everything. As for this hotel, it is still much better than sleeping in outdoor tent barracks. We should be able to relieve ourselves of some fatigue here before moving on. Did you not earlier insist on continuing our search for a better accommodation with the greatest vehemence, Miss Alsis? Yeah, whatever. We get your point. Let's go inside. Whew. My humble self can only behold your generous acceptance of this insufficient lodging with the deepest gratitude. After all the serious talk, the man seemed oddly relieved to hear our discussion as he brought his fists and palm together. He did too much damage, and Red Mercy said me angry, or I didn't do enough damage and saved the swap. Yeah. Architecture today must be judged with such haste merely by an observation of the exterior. The interior may ought to be surprised of, worry not. With Rodion surrendered, wouldn't that be nice? We made our way into the building. Ooh, this isn't actually, that ain't so bad. It's clean in here. This place represents a rather classical aesthetic. Landscape paintings lining the walls give off a rather sophisticated mood. And it's much more spacious inside than it looks from the outside. Did they use some kind of space expansion technology in here too? No. It seems that the building appeared small due to the density of structures in proximity. Well, the door is open now. Should my presence be required, I shall be in a small shed next to this building. Please converse freely. The man smiled awkwardly and quietly excused himself as the excitement of the descendants began to grow. Meanwhile, Honglu stood a fair distance from the guide, quietly watching his face as he left. His expression was enigmatic, as if he was gazing upon the clouds, the flowers, or even the wind. Yet there was no light in those eyes. It was as if they beheld a storm cloud, a desolate field of woods of flowers, and a howling, destructive gale. Do you suspect something, Honglu? So I decided to ask. Not yet. I don't think. Huh? Not yet? So, big brother, something fell off to you too, huh? That's when he caught a familiar voice. Jia Jichun! It's you! And so soon, too. Yeah, I told you I had a feeling we'd be seeing each other very soon. Have you been well, young master? I'm so glad to see you're doing well, Mr. Wei. Oh wait, some of you are staying here too, Jishun. I know I wouldn't ever set foot in a place like this, but I ran into some kind of large-scale construction on my way back to the family mansion. Had to come through the back streets. You too? Okay, so this redirection has to be on purpose. So we weren't the only ones troubled by that random construction site. Whoa! Hail to thee! The confident look in Jichun's face was immediately replaced by that of alarm. Did she lose her memories again? Is she with you? No, Don Quixote is the same as always. But she looks like such an airhead. Jichun? Well, what's coming to the lounge but a moment so that we may share a moment of catching up? This is how it started. That moment of catching up. Just have a little bit of a talk. Oh, yeah. Actually, let's do that. Hold on. Jichun seemed to hesitate for a moment, staring at Don Quixote after hearing that her memories were intact, before walking right up to her. I like that idea. Shall we? So that's how it started, huh? All it takes is just a little breadcrumb, huh? Why don't you go find a room for me to stay in while I talk some things out with her? Huh? What? You want to do some catching up, right? This is Manager Esquire? Loss of critical personnel may be cause for disciplinary action, Dante. I don't think there's anything wrong with making friends, though. Looks like she shouldn't realize Don Quixote if she's comfortable enough to tease her like that. It's not Don Quixote she likes. She obviously wants Don Quixote's power she saw back then. I mean, didn't she have to kind of bail out from her injuries before she ever got to see Sancho? No, wait. She did see Sancho during the Fathoms. No, actually, before that. Now, lady, this is hardly the appropriate place for it. Fine, I'll try again later. Let's get some sleep. I'm heading in too. Jichun sighed with this bit of disappointment before heading into the lobby. Well, let's all head inside now. So when I and the rest of the students followed her into the lodging. She was very
제
forward.
기존 검술보다 한층 더 향상된 기술을 쓸 수 있었다고 생각합니다. 시청자의 수가 대폭 증가하겠고
very forward, to say the least. Everyone was busy looking around and commenting on the various things in the lodging, but Sinclair appeared to be the most anxious of them all. Sinclair? Something in here stands out. Like... My thoughts on the Haitian pack? Looking at their kit, it seems like they have a really high priority of having haste. So it's been a while since we actually had someone that really purely benefit from that. That and also the fact they're also rupture IDs too, with a special rupture status. People were kind of concerned that how rupture was gonna stand out pretty well in comparison to like the other effects. Granted, having true damage is nice, but it didn't really do much afterwards in cases of like having better reward. Plus, having stronger clashes than the norm is also pretty helpful too. But I still want to take a look in execution first before anything else. But it seems like they're really strong units as far as like rupture teams are concerned. Generally, they can probably hold their own to a degree. Just alone they're enabled to do that high haste kind of robbery. Something in here stands out. Like, imagine an ideal picture. Did you call? Oh, I missed that joke you sang. That's not what I was... Anyway. I'm not the only one who feels like something stands out like a sore thumb from the whole picture. Oh, yeah. Michelle, my IDs besides... Which IDs in particular? I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't say anything because I thought it was just me. Told you. So, what's soft about this place? Isn't it obvious? Where's all the comforting snacks go? What's a weird mystery table at the center of this room? Same gut. Same hat. This is kinda weird. What's the table doing there? The saturated colors are quite a pleasant sight to behold. So, is it any better inside? What the hell is this hideous Everyone's harping on this just singular table. A kerfuffle sparked by this particularly unsightly piece of indoor furniture calmed somewhat once everyone made it inside the building. Manager Don, Barber, Sink Salt, Kurokuma Ishmael, Princess, and Arthur Blossoms. They outdamaged them. No, wait. All of them are up type 4, right? Ooh. Okay, so they really did cook. And this is both Heisho, Ryoshu, and Altus that managed to outdamage them. Good God. Of course, no one's able to discern the real person at the table yet. I did XP low excavation and Ryoshi and I did this is 1.k damage combined. Okay, so they're covered the units for sure. Every step on this floor leaves black residue on the shoes. Not only the floor, touching the walls is an unidentified black substance on one's fingers. Almost as it was hastily painted. Not to mention the walls. Purple in odd fashion. What could possibly be the construction of this structure? Well, my guess is that the maintenance staff has been slacking. Maybe, but why is everything so neatly organized if that's the case? There are enough CD establishments to tell when the place has gone without tidying up. Both of skill 3s have reuse and can gain about 3 coin power plus 10% damage bonus from Death Right. Okay, that does it. At least it appears that each room is furnished with a bed. While this is far from optimal, executive manager, we may be able to rest here. Huh. I guess we wouldn't have the time to clear up. Jia Chun, the last person to walk in after having taken the time to examine the area outside the lobby, stared blankly around the room with an aghast expression. Plus bonus percent skill from skill passives. Right. I'm not even sure what to say about this ridiculous negligence. Then found her room after leaving a scathing remark. And the first time we ever saw her right into some shady business, ain't it? Let's just cross that bridge when we come to it, yeah? I guess. Anyone could tell that there was something definitely wrong about that guy. Some senators, including Heathcliff, had already slumped to the floor, vociferously expressing their desire to rest with a collective sigh of exhaustion. Well, it is pretty weird, but at least we have a roof over our heads. In that case, Dante, perhaps this may be a good time to announce today's close of business? Huh, I never made this announcement outside the bus before. Oh, right. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Understood. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you'll be now given a maximum 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. As soon as she finished, the sinners each began to relax in their own ways, stumbling into their rooms while others lingered to speculate over the bizarre table at the center of the room. Save for Altus, that is. Got something to say, Altus? Yes, executive manager. It's about our guide, Xing Tao. Oh, your new best friend from earlier? Seemed like you guys were getting along pretty well. And I also have like 4 specific ecos to help them. Like the event gifts, right? Like the gifts that are only limited to this particular intervalo. Because I know they did that for the LCB IDs. Or at least the assistant. Wait. Yeah. They did it last time with the checkup. Though oddly enough, they did have some Limbus company clearing IDs, like the Effie and Saudet ones, and Pilot. What? That's simply untrue. Did you not see the signal I gave you earlier? What signal? That half-baked smile? Oh, you mean when you nodded slightly in my direction? Indeed, that individual has informational advantage over us when it comes to this locale. Regardless of how it sounds, the accusations we come up with here, he would have been able to explain them away using his familiarity with the region. I thought, as a party with an individual informational disadvantage, it would be wise to feign camaraderie and friendship with that individual and go along with their plans, while trying to dig out as much intel as possible. I seriously thought that specialist guy would totally win you over. Executive manager, I've been in this business for many years. How could you even imagine that I would be fooled by an amateur spy who is overtly It's nothing. As the disappointment was palpable, but she stopped herself as though she remembered that there were more important matters at hand. While it is uncertain as to how long the individual will be accompanying us, it will be reasonable to speculate that he approached the LCCB with the explicit purpose of eliminating Honolulu, Jia Baoyu. I present the fact that it was Pilot, that experienced Greenhorn, who somehow conveniently came across this connection, as another evidence supporting this suspicion. And that's also true. Faust also has information to share. Faust joined in the conversation after listening to discuss us for some time. A review of every known taboo has failed to identify one he called residential aggression taboo that universally prohibits active violence within residential areas. And then it also has to be. It is too early to come to conclusions regarding the matter. It appears that this area, Hong Yuan, has taboos that change depending on your location within its territory. However, considering every other circumstantial evidence, we can come to the conclusion that he was most likely lying to us. Your assessment cannot be denied. In that case, we must already be deep within enemy machinations. The constant stream of random assailants we faced earlier was also likely a part of their plan. It may very well be that this building itself is also a trap, yet we lack the intelligence about this particular backstreets to be certain. However, we do have one minor advantage. It seems that they severely underestimate our capabilities given the low caliber of assailants they decided to send after us. One thing we can capitalize on is the mutual lack of intel. Keep our guard up, remain alert, and we should be able to navigate our way out of this trap, Executive Manager. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. Honestly, I didn't know who or what to trust. Then I would appreciate it if you could trust me fully next time. I don't know about that. Alice bowed politely and returned to her room. Faust and I chatted a little more about Qingtao and his plans, but our discussion ended without bearing much fruit. Trust her fully, she says. Who knows? I realized that Hungo was missing as I was spending some time chatting with the sinners. I didn't notice him going into his room. So I walked to the exit, about to look for Honglu outside, and ran to Jia Chi-chun and Wei, who decided to stay in the room to close the door. It's getting late. Where are you going without a guard? Oh, just looking for Honglu. Right, I can't understand what you're saying. Oh, right. When it comes to conversing with other sinners, I find that there are two types of people. The first type that usually says whatever's on their mind without pausing for it or caring to hear my reply. Donghang, Herbert, Hubert, and Ahab. AKA the nightmare blunt rotation, as some people colloquially call it. Though I fear it wouldn't be much of a nightmare blunt rotation with him around. At least he knows how to have fun. At least he knows how to have fun. But these two, no, not so much. This one's too self-absorbed, and this one's too absorbed in her own blind obsession. Given that this type of person isn't actually looking to communicate with me, that simplifies things a little on my end. However, it's also oddly insulting, as it seems as though they don't recognize me as a human, but rather a wall, or a clock on the wall. And the other type is one that reads me so well that they might as well be able to hear what I'm saying. Regilius falls into that latter category. He recognizes the pitch of my tics and talks, and reads my body language, or he sometimes even claims to see my expressions, like how Don Quixote does. And Jia Chi-chun, who saw through me with that sort of exchange. Okay, let's see, just looking to get an early morning air? Or does Prosthetic Head even have a respiratory function? I guess from the way it looks. Did not belong in either category. No, not really. I'm just looking for Honglu because I haven't seen him in a while. You're shaking your head, so no. Then, are you looking for something to eat? She's a new one. The one that tries to figure out what I'm saying without asking for help. My lady, would it be wise to wake someone who may be able to translate? They would have done that themselves if it were something important. I'm kind of curious though. What was the hand gesture you made when I first asked? You brought your index fingers up to your cheek. You see a full-time... Did I hear blind obsession? See a full-time falling down a river. Oh, hey there! You don't mind if I drown you in sinking, paralyze you, and then devour you with blind obsession? No! Oh wait, that was a fault, Sam. I regret my decisions. Well, Hong was always smiling, so I thought maybe I could simulate his smile to convey that I'm looking for him. Ever since Refraction Railway, that fight's always been like one of my hated ones for sure. It's always been my hated one. Like, it's easy if you have a lot of units or just a few units that can dodge evade, but if it's mostly block evasion, then forget it. You're taking the brunt of it. What? No, I was just trying to express a smiling face. Oh, this isn't gonna be easy, is it? Huh. You're tick-tocking a lot more vigorously. Yeah, I think you're onto something. This conversation is starting to veer into completely unintended territory. After a bit of trial and error. I see. You're looking for my big brother, huh? Pulling a 30 clash pop. Yep. We took some very roundabout ways, but I eventually was able to get her to understand what I was trying to say. Well, if he is who you're looking for, that's easy. You should be able to find him by the lounge back there. Yeah, very strong bullet, especially if it's like the Atelier round too. Hey, what's good, Spectre? How's it going? Welcome to the stream, and hey, if you're enjoying it so far, feel free to look around and all that good stuff. We're just kind of making our way through Interval 5, so as late to the party as I am. So we're just kind of going through the motions here. I doubt he got very far from there, if he even left. So that's why you're trying so hard to communicate. Jie Chun, strangely enough, disappointed and dispirited by my reply. I did have something to tell you, but never mind. I feel like the mood's been ruined. Let's talk about this another time. I mean, hopefully I can actually get to the end of the intervallo before I start leaving for work. I did have a bit of a hiccup here and there, so that may have cut into some time necessary. So there may be a part 2, maybe sometime tomorrow if all doesn't go so well. How long do I got? I have until 1:30 p.m. So maybe a good it's 12:40 now. Okay, I think I got a good amount of time. But when I start playing, as far as like in general with this game, or when I start playing recently, because I started since release. It must have been on and off though. What are you doing here? People watching. There were some people stumbling through the streets outside. As I stared outside the window at the scene, Hong seemed to sense what I was thinking and began. Are you worried for me, Dante? Well, yeah. It's your turn, Hong. It really is. I'm back at H Corp and everyone's talking about a family hierarchy selection. But you don't have to worry about me at all. Because I Do not wish for anything from the Limbus Company. Really? I'm not like Isang. I'm not hiding my true feelings. They only gave me a wonderful promise like they would help me recover my torn and broken wings. I joined only to have some new experience. That's all. But we do know something is definitely going to happen. Whatever it might be, something that will shake you to your very core. Even if you didn't wish for anything, going through something like that could... Probably, yes. But it's okay. I'm used to being led to by the will of others anyway. Also, thanks for the follow, Spectre. Much appreciated. No matter what happens here, I can't do this like everyone else. Because that's how it's always been. Whatever happens to me or those around me, I only... A loud, boisterous bellow suddenly cut off Hong Lu before he could finish his sentence. Oi! Let go of me! Since I saw talking that just tell me not supposed to get mad at that? Dang it, lower your voice. Hey, feel free to post your code in there. I'll probably do that when I get the chance. Okay, let me copy. What are you guys doing back there? Greg and Heathcliff, who were most likely hiding behind the entrance door, tumbled into view. I knew I shouldn't have come here with this guy. Couldn't you be patient for a few minutes before bursting out of here? How long have you two been listening? From the very start, of course. Thought I was finally making some sense at first, but what's that? The use of following others' will? I didn't mean to irk you, Heathcliff. I'm only telling the truth. Bloody hell, I'm about to burst a vessel! Oi, buggy bloke! I'm supposed to practice patience after listening to that drivel? I think I'm practicing plenty of patience despite you calling me buggy bloke out of nowhere. So yeah, you are. That's not what I... Finally, some silence. Anyways, sorry about listening in, fellas. I'll let you know it's a big secret if you let this one slide, though. What's the secret? Gregor rubbed his arm awkwardly as I stared at him in silence, and pointed at a pillar in an exaggerated motion. Guess who's hiding behind that pillar, Manager Bud? But that two familiar figures stumbled out in full view behind the pillar. How could you betray us like that, Gregor? Waha. Bad, weak, and highly annoying. Good night, snooze fest, she says. Huh? Did I get that wrong? I never said good night. I never said GNS. When did you get a FU? Ryoshi looked at Isiclear with an interest before slicing open the ceiling above the entrance. And with an uncharacteristically wet noise for something cutting through a wall, a black ink-like substance dripped onto the floor, while it Rodia and outer scratching down after it. GTFO. Yeah, he would be the first one, then immediately after, just tell people exactly. Okay, let me also save that as well. Oh, didn't realize I had garnered such an audience for my story. Executive Manager, the sole reason I followed you out here was for the sole purpose of protection, as well as concern for your safety. I'm not like the others who followed you merely to satiate their curiosities. You spin bullets there, old lady. Me? I was just bored. Then, shall we continue the conversation, Dante? Everyone, back to your rooms. Now. Alright, now I got a fact, and we got a Heisho pack too. So, let me, before I forget. Alright, let's add. And Excellent. And I did kind of mention before, I'm a bit of an on and off player, so I don't really grind mirror dungeons as much as I should, especially when it comes to like uptying some stuff, which I probably should as well. But hey, I'm always glad to kind of have a nice show around, and especially for the new contos and so on. I like to at least be there for that. Greetings, I'm Hong. Full Sinclair. Yep, let me do that. Yep, let me actually put my, I know there was like the Wayne, yeah, there we go. Yeah, here's mine, just so if anybody's interested in joining on in as well. I'll also put in the YouTube chat as well, just to get everybody else on board. Yep, with the manager done. It should be refreshing soon after a while. Look at the company too? Let me see. Okay, manager done. Full stop Heath, full stop Halu, Priest, Paula, Aisho, Spicebush, Barber, Princess, Sink, and Kurokumo, Heath, and Ishmael. Alright, let me refresh. Oh, wait, shit. Step. There we go. Nice. Alright, now let's keep the ball rolling. Or actually, let me see if I can actually get lucky here too. Gamba, go! Oh, Ego and Goldie.
처음으로 숨통이 튀었던 순간을 기억하나요?
Ooh.
저는 지금이군요.
Thoracalgia.
아직 정해진 시기가 되지 않았으니 이 고
Eh.
정도는 끝까지 태우게.
Gamba, go! Well, probably have to make some work in order to actually get her leveled up, so I'm still gonna have to use support regardless before I have the resources to do it anyway. But hey, it's a nice start. One of the best current egos, and some of the wait, the ego that does it actually rival Fluid Sack too, or is that still kind of up in the air as contest? It actually successfully rivals Fluid Sack. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. It is the end of days. Fluid Sack is better for overall healing, but I know like Fluid Sack is primarily used for healing and SP gain, but as far as damage is concerned, not so much. Very nice for poise support, and also has a passive healing too. Yeah, better sustain. Yeah, that's better. especially in like longer fights. Having that sustained healing is nice. It is absolutely nice. The haste show pack. Oh, okay. Do I have enough? Yes, I can. But I just need more experience because I burned most of it on someone else.
믿던 짐승에게 목을 물어 뜯긴 느낌은 어떻지? 천천히 말해봐라. 보채지 않을 테니.
Alright, let me skip on ahead. I could always go back. Oh, I could also up type 4. Wonderful. Now all I need to do is just level up. So I kind of wish they had more of these level boost tickets here as a free-to-play. It's odd that they don't really have it in those season passes too, now that I think about it. It's been how many seasons so far and they haven't done that as much? Or they probably just saved those level up tickets for those that actually pay. Yeah, the level boost ones. So some refractions. That's a possibility. Yeah, let me see. Let me also use the rest of my lunacy so I can start fueling. I have a rough idea of how much I need in order to level up.
불청객의 대응을 완료했습니다. 아직 그날의 사냥.
최후의 결투는 아직 멀었어.
무지 외에 암흑은 없나니.
최후의 결투는 아직 멀었어.
역시 관리자님이십니다.
무지 외에 암흑은 없나니. 다른 부서도 벌써 한바탕. 무지 외에 암흑은 없나니.
Okay, let me get my lunacy back so I can actually do the rest of the event. But let's see. Oh wait, I forgot to set the contempt. All right, there we go. And also, since I also have enough, I can also kind of do this. Just need maybe a couple more runs of Luxcavation.
무지 외에 암흑은 없나니.
불청객의 대응을 완료했습니다.
봉오리가
And that should be topping out.
결실을 맺은 게로지.
Now, the main thing I probably want to do, or make it as a primary objective, is to try to get as many of my egos up type 4. That'll probably be my home. That'll probably be my long-term project for this game in particular, because as on and off as I am, I do want to be able to have like some sort of advantage, especially for the ones that I should be using the most. So there's that. All right, LCB Ryoshu done. Now I guess next would be the Kurokumo duo. Oh yeah, Kanto is definitely gonna be freaking wild. It is so gonna be wild. But we're gonna see why it's gonna be wild in the first place. Alright, back to the drive. Up here, so we can grab our support. Wait, 100% guarantee.
이제 앞으로
연료는 잔뜩 준비해뒀지.
It is low. Oh, right.
뜀박질 시간.
After that little kerfuffle, just as everyone was scattering to their rooms, Ada suddenly began to vehemently oppose leaving me all on my own. Are you absolutely certain, Executive Manager? Seriously, don't worry about it. We should have took the night watch on the bus anyway. That is true, however. We're currently in uncharted territory for our team. We do not have much experience sleeping at a place where our safety isn't absolutely guaranteed. Hey, we're literally right next door to them. It'll take less than 5 seconds in order to come over and when something happens. Do you not know that every second matters in emergencies? No, Babushka, the comp. Let's get you out of here. God is blessed. Like, I'm not surprised how many people, how Aldous had pretty much single-handedly exploded some of Limbus Company's popularity. Tan, tomboyish figures, supposedly a hag, military bonus, and probably one of the most memeable personalities and lines you could ever even think of. Hag Maximies, yeah, that too. with enough power, you could even ignite a dying star. A dying star indeed. I was like 40 if I remember. I think that is like her approximate age, considering that she was part of the Smoke War too. And the Smoke War is a very, very messy battle for sure. We just didn't know how bad it was unless we saw like different angles of it. Because I know Roland was a part of it. I know the head of the Dawn Association was also part of it too. The name kind of draws a blank, but the fact those two guys were there, I think Olivier was there too, before he became Hana Association. Point is, the Smoke War was just a fucked up fight after the fall of the one of the wings. Was Autumn's enjoyer. I'm personally the Rogia guy. You probably, if anybody has seen me mostly on Twitter, especially, or you probably, if anybody has come from my YouTube channel in particular, you probably see my reaction to Dulcinea Rogia. That'll tell you all that you need to know about how much I think about Rogia at that point. Yeah. Finally. Some peace and quiet. I sit in the corner of the bed, surrounded by silence, and allow my shoulders to slump for once. I need to sleep like the sinners do, but for the fatigue doesn't go away on its own. I need some time to relax and empty my thoughts once in a while. Well, I've gotten somewhat used to the pain. It doesn't. She does hit like that. She really does. And I'll gladly become a blood fiend. I'll gladly become a blood fiend for her. Whether I become a blood bag or not, that's entirely up to my willpower. But that's how it is. And the longer this journey got, the more frequent and severe the sinister injuries became. They did get stronger, that's for sure, but so did our enemies. Which means my clock is always turning and turning without a moment of rest. So I think of the star. Look, I've come to terms with a lot of things here and there, but it's just something that it hits right. Dulcinea just hits right. Before the great gates which I face with every revival, I witness its intricate engravings and feel its silent vibrations. Man, we haven't seen this since like prequel. Not prequel, I'm for real down. Oh, yes. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Like the last time I ever had that reaction was like a boat fixer Ishmael with a diving suit. And everybody wearing swimsuits, huh? Umida, Umida. Even after a whole year, I'm still no closer to understanding what they were supposed to represent. But by emptying my thoughts and just taking in the sights, I find myself calming down. Also, the wind is quite cool and crisp tonight. Hey, wait a minute. That's weird. Wind? It's the sun chill. Something opened the window, but there's no way that this gentle breeze could have unlatched and left my window wide open like that. And if it did, it would have made a pretty loud noise. Besides, this chill isn't coming in front of me. I slowly turn around and look at where the window was supposed to be. Only to see a melted wall and an intruder slinking in through its newfound opening. Who are you? As though driven by some unknown survival instinct, I rolled out of bed. But there was already a blade right where my neck and head met. A steel, a shearing cold. Just a little nudge, and I would have been dead even before I could even make a tick. I remember how worried out this was to leave me alone. I thought she was just being paranoid. I should have just trusted. Oh, that. We should have just trusted her. Fully trusted her. Just as I was getting ready for my final struggle, my final moments filled with regret about not listening to Alice's advice. What a pathetic thin blade. Too delicate to have the clockhead chop his head off. Don't you think? Yoshi leapt down from the ceiling and deflected the sailor's dagger away from me. Yoshi? Snuck in thinking I was about to see something interesting, but you're just some beast with steel. I looked up at the ceiling torn open, dripping with viscous pain like fluid, just like I saw earlier during my conversation with Honolulu. Executive Manager, are you unharmed? And Aldous peeking out from the gap. I, Aldous, was the one who instructed Ryoshi to that ceiling and had a room to hide in. Remember that. Shut up and help me. Oh, I thought it was just some beast with steel. I could have cut this beast in half, sword and all, had it not been on the bus. All of your abilities were diminished the moment you were hired by this company. Equally defanged and depowered, if you will. I still recall Hohenheim's commentary back at LCE. I had a vague notion of what he meant, but now I was really feeling it. NFW. What is happening? As Ryoshi was struggling to stop that one blade, Intruder pulled out another dagger with the other arm and slashed Yoshi's neck. A beast of the Heisho pack. The intruder would have cut her throat had Wade not burst through my door. Who wields you now? I do not suppose dialogue is an option. Light enters not the vast garden. It falls a star into its fathom still. The intruder reached into his clothes, muttering an odd invocation. Little shit. Talisman! Wait, get together! My lady. Just as the intruder muttering began to grow intense, Chichun leaped to my room and struck the stranger with her fan. Are you going to let that bastard finish that stupid spell? He almost activated the Q-Corp talisman. Q-Corp? Apologies, my lady. It seems that I still remain somewhat bound by that spell. Listen, you are no longer a Heisho. You serve me, got that? You don't have to let loose. You don't have to let those things control you anymore. He was former Heisho? Oh, that's interesting. Yes, my lady. My apologies. So that means there might be some other mutation on his body if that's the case. I fell limply to the bed with a sudden alleviation of stress and pressure. Hey, are you? I can't understand him anyway. I just stopped the assassin before you laid hands on them, unfortunately. Got it. I don't think there was anyone else in here. Let's switch the lights on. When the lights came on, we saw this one. This one's from the Mao branch, isn't it? There was a black bamboo hat wearing assassin on the ground. The walls that appeared solid before we all went to sleep were now melting away as if they were viscous fluid. There is something wrong with this building. I knew that they must have done something to the building, but how is a Heisho here? This whole operation has got to be spearheaded by someone with real power. This isn't just an ambush of an overexcited family hire contestant. Farm Watch? I'm sorry, Farm Watch has been forgotten ever since Alfonso wiped our memories. We don't even know who Dong Hong was outside of a few things. You can blame it on her then. It's because we had our memories wiped at that very moment after seeing the tearful thing that we don't know what Farm Watch is anymore. Except in the mirror dungeons, that is. We just can't get the ID from it anymore. Correct. This one's from the Mal branch of the Pax, which means there are more of them infiltrate this building, but not the scale of the Z branch. The Mal branch always moves in groups. Therefore, their goal must be to kill every guest staying in this Kenzan, including you, my lady. Then, we've got to get moving. We can't let them surround us if we even have a chance to survive in this. Dante! As burst into my room, slamming the door open again. I can imagine Dante just not even through the door, she just Kool-Aid mans right through the wall. Though she kind of has the same kind of characteristics as another character voiced by the same voice actress in Nikkei, who has a habit of busting through walls and windows all the same way, and is also a justice freak. Lapless. Now, thank me later. If we don't move our asses, we're as good as dead. Wait! The cat was phone, she's gone. Yeah. Yeah, she voices Lapless in Nikkei. Hence why I always make that joke every chance I get whenever she busts through a window. Or busts through a wall. Both her and Don Quixote are roughly the same people. They admire heroes. They admire a heroic code. They also have the penchant of doing a lot of property damage in the process. And they're both blonde. And have sparkly eyes too. Oh, the similar. They even use like something similar to a lance. Though, in Laplace's case, it's more of a beam launcher rather than. Well, it does have piercing power anyway, so it's still the same thing. We don't have time to contact the main forces. They're both short. Yeah, they're also both very short and very energetic. They're really cut from the same cloth. Specific memories on what it was, how the tears were collected, or how HP pulls from. Ah, right. I thought it was just like a full-on wipe of what happened. The full-on wipe of the incident that happened. Okay, so I was probably misconstruing things then. Thanks for clearing up. Chichino immediately stormed out of the room as soon as they saw the sinners enter, as though they'd been waiting here for my protection. Don Quixote and Gregor stood red-faced on the edge. Rousseau was covered in battle wounds, and Aldous wore an inscrutable expression. I stand before you in shame, so I borrowed the hands of another to protect the executive manager. No, I should have listened to what you said. Extrapolating from the pattern by which the walls have disintegrated, it's likely to utilize the identical means of infiltration for each center. Oh, right, you were attacked by the Bambuda-headed assailants too? The ranks numbered many, Manager Esquire, yet for how many of them there were unsettlingly silent. Really, we were almost... not almost. I saw on the way there that some of us did get killed and peeled straight through the guts. So what you said about fighting indoors was a taboo. Yes, a lie. How? Oh, how utterly cowardly and unjust these vile curse strikes from the shadows. Alas, now is not the moment to ruminate upon their villainy. Correct. Besides, there's more than waiting to sing the blazing to us.
어거의 그 유치한 말투도 도움이
Oh, they're deliberately nerfed.
화가 나서 제대로 된 판단이 안 서는 모양입니다.
언제까지 버티나 보자고.
The former Accursed stage? Wait, they nerfed the stage?
싸움 앞에서 나서서 힘내라 같은 건 쓸모없다고. 어차피 내가 다칠 생각으로 나서지 않으면 도리어 되져버리니까 정신만 똑바로 차려.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 이 기회인 것 같아. 이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
And much higher core rolls than my backups. Oh.
분위기 좋은데? 지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
언제까지 버티는 거냐고. 살을 베어내고
하나 눕혔네.
Oh.
이렇게
그리고
눕혀가다 보면
내 앞을
어느새
막을 자는
끝나는 게
없어.
싸움인 거지.
자,
숨통 끊기.
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체 얘기를 다시 해봐줄래?
How are you still alive?
다른 직원에게도 도움이 되거든요.
한 사람을 영입해야 하는 건데.
There we go.
재정 여행 업.
Do we have enough charge? Yes, we do.
언제까지 버티는 거냐고.
가치 없군. 죽어. 가치 없군. 죽어. 끝내지.
Oh, that's a badass. That's a badass look. Just both of the Heisho IDs just standing side by side.
그림자가 그들을 덮었습니다. 청소부가 다녀가고 날이 밝으면 죽은 자의 흔적을 찾으려는 자들이 와도 아무것도 알 수 없을 것입니다. 볕이 들면 그림자는 거두어진다.
Shiyua. Yep, still on the prowl.
가보지.
And there were 6 more of the oh.
확대해봐.
상태가 안 좋군. 지금 공격에 들어가는 게 유효하겠어.
흑수며 뒷박질 춤 예측대로.
Wait. I can see. Yeah, so they pretty much changed the battle from an absolute war of attrition
몸에 칼자국이
to an
하나
actual
더
fight.
새겨지는군.
기차와 같이 달려나가겠어.
제압 개체의 상태가 나빠졌어요. 다행이에요. 개브라를 통해 토끼팀을 불러야 할지도 모른다고 생각하고 있었는데.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 못 그렵해.
분위기 좋은데? 지금이라면
That was in the focus when that.
의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
Ah, yeah, that could definitely do it.
흑수며 뒷박질 춤.
Hey, this one's unblockable, unbreakable.
숨통 끊기.
Ooh.
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라.
These guys might be a little bit.
벌어졌네. 지금 쏘면
한 발이면 충분해.
우리 의뢰가 아니잖아. 헤어내리.
살을 베어내고. 육청.
Burn, baby.
저거 봐. 쟤 휘청거리고 있다.
흑승리 뒷박질 춤.
자,
거러지 같은 놈들.
완벽한 선택이었어 나리. 선택 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
보세요, 관리자님. 다들 역경을 이겨내고 유능한 직원이 되었어요.
Overwhelm. The target's +3 rupture.
이번엔 도움이
Flash fall
됐을까요?
+1. Inflict 2 rupture count. Unbreakable coin. Inflict 2 rupture. And hits without cracking. Use this coin. Yeah. Wait, what? Max 2 times. Oh, let's also take a look at this one too. The unit speed is faster than the target's gain point power based on speed difference. Point power +1 for every 2 speed difference, max 3. +4 rupture coin power +1. Reflect +2 rupture. Alright, let's go for absolute decimation. Even that's a bit overkill. Because fuck them in particular.
된다면 사활을 걸라.
가치 없고 죽어. 끝내지.
물렁물렁한 녀석 같은 놈이
끝내지.
갖다 대기만 해도 썰려 나가는 걸 보니
가인은 어디요?
효력사. 좋아.
계속하면 되겠네.
I think we're safe for now. Something tells me that they're not fighting us at full force. Let's rile them, so hopefully that means something. Yeah, where did Don Quixote go? Hark! For I'm here. Don Quixote rushed into my room from the hallway outside. I had gone to spy if the other sinners had suffered as we have. Really, they were indeed targeted as well. Most defend themselves well against the curs and shall be here post-haste. Not everyone survived, huh? Young Sinclair and Yusang, well, appeared that they had risen and battled. They were caught unawares by our foes. Just like that, the demise came soon after tripping over each other's foot. How embarrassing. And Heathcliff, he isn't that our fellow resident modified expert? I didn't even get to him. He didn't get to me, mate. I'm good as new. Heathcliff? What got you gobsmacked last? I call the blade-piercing young Heathcliff in the back of his head. Is that 10 o'clock already, Manager Esquire? No, not yet anyway. Blimey, so that's what this funny on my back of my head was. Heathcliff reached up to rub the back of his head, then crumbled into for mid-sentence. Can I have some ibuprofen? My head doesn't feel so good. Heathcliff is not breathing anymore. He's dead. How do you manage to walk all over here with a hole in his head? Why the chicken? Oh, the bongies. It depends on like how leveled your units are. Then also, you can't exactly leave them alone either. Because if you leave them alone, they can't paralyze you and just pretty much downturn your coins. So sometimes it's a bit of a priority to either just use any like mass attack abilities or just clash with them. Young Heathcliff! The other sinners are starting to gather, Manager. As pathetic as this force may be, we cannot spare any hands at the moment. Executive Manager. You must also join the others as soon as possible in the system. There sounds of altercations coming from the lobby. Okay, I'll take a look. The clock turns as it always does. Whoa, please hold on a moment. You? I can still see some people inside the lobby, which is also in the bizarre process of melting away. Among them, I noticed Jia Chi-chun clashing against a figure wearing a bamboo hat. Go on the offensive already, huh? How come a big shot in control of a Heisho pack decide to come after small fries like us? And behind the black bamboo hat wearing assassin stood. I see you've tracked me down. So certain of your own safety, but my master has already prepared countermeasures. There stood Xing Tao, our supposed collaborator who led us here, and Wei who was threatening him with a sword. So you were behind this. Marcel, claim that man's bones. It's you. I sussed out that you'd be playing something like this, but you lacked the patience to pull it off. You're quite observant. I thought I had completely won you over. You must know that at H-Corp there is but one path to survival and riches. Choose a family hierarchy candidate and serve them with utter loyalty. But who in their right mind would serve a young master about you? He who has grown up with no hardship. He who doesn't possess a single speck of ambition. You shut your bloody mouth, yeah? And you, rich boy, are you just gonna sit there and let that bloke talk shit in your face? But he's right. I don't have any ambitions. Have you got no self-respect? What do you have anyway? Kim Soa's little MVPs. I wonder why. There were a lot of bones claimed that day. Enough in order to make a foundation. Okay, everyone shut up for a second. He's obviously taunting you. Stop indulging him. Wei, speak. I know you have no means to wield a Heiso pack. So speak. Which master do you choose to serve? Who controls them? Ah, so they're curious. Stare your sword, Jiu. Another unfamiliar voice from the shadows. Young master? Are you certain this is wise? Worry not. They're destined to be swept away by the morning dew anyway. The trajectory of their fate shall not alter course. Ready to witness me. The voice reveals himself from the shadows, walking into the light with a casual, assured gait. Careful, you're doing the rabbit here. Seriously? You? I see. You're... Allow me to grace your ignorances with my exalted name. I'm Yihua, of the Shi family. You may know me as a very prominent candidate to the throne of the family hierarchy.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐고.
Alright, let's take a look.
다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
Alright, let me take a look. Okay. So I see W Corp Yisang, N Corp Faust, Sync East Dawn, And if I remember correctly, I think a bunch of the Bungie enemies are weak to Pierce, or either Pierce or Slash. Let me see if I can remember correctly. Oh, we're out of time too. Shit. David Marceau. I'd say you could probably get better results with Yisang, Don, Ryoshu, and maybe Faust. Just complaining about the high coin power. Yeah, that's pretty much like the bulk of the fight too. So sometimes you may have to make some moves of just doing unopposed attacks. Alright, let me take a look, just to kind of refresh my memory. Oh, Slash. They're weak to Slash. So it may be a bit of an uphill battle unless you have some Slash IDs. Or IDs that have Slash, or centers with Slash egos too. Or anything that does paralysis. Wait, let me see. Are they uptied? Yeah, uptied 3 for a good bulk of them. Ishmael is at uptied 4. You don't mind if I put this up on screen, right? Just to get a good idea. I have 2 fights. Sieges left in Anavalo. Yeah, I'm gonna save it for Wednesday then. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow if that's the case, because I probably don't have enough time in order to go through all of them, and depending on how things go, I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked. If things are concerned. But appreciate the follow, and hope to see you guys, gals and pals, next time. And let me see. I still gotta try and fix this whole noise situation here regarding my notifications and so on. It's a little weird that they're not firing off, but maybe I have to just change some stuff. So I'll look into that eventually. Alright. I'm gonna end things here on the YouTube side. So, take care, peace out, and see you guys, gals and pals, tomorrow, so we can finish things up with the Intervallo. And then we can probably do like a mirror dungeon run after that.